If you've listened to Superhuman Radio for any length of time, you know I'm a big proponent of peptides. One of my favorites is ghk-cu, the blue copper peptide. It has the ability to repair and regenerate more youthful expressions of skin cells, reversing the signs of aging. Restoracell's Stem Cell Awakening Serum, along with their other products, contain potent formulations of blue copper peptide and only the highest quality organic ingredients. Superhuman Radio listeners can now save 25% site-wide. Buy their complete set and receive a free exfoliating cleanser. Go to shrnetwork.biz/blue and use the code SHR25. That's SHR25. Remodel your skin today.
This is the Superhuman Channel, where we use oxygen for the power of good.
Hey, welcome back. We're joined by Terry and Debbi Barber. How you guys doing?
Good,
Carl.
Excellent.
Terry, I want my skin to look like yours, man.
It's
His skin
possible.
looks great. His skin looks great. So we're going to talk about ghk-cu. It's a favorite peptide of mine because it has so many benefits. And we actually have some people that are going to come on the show and talk about their experience with it. We've done this before. We actually had Dr. Suzanne Turner on the show, and I have a clip I want to play here in just a minute. If you want to learn about all the science behind it, you can look at the show. We did it last month. I should have had this number in front of me. I'll have it here before this interview is up. But we did a very, very deep dive into this peptide and how it works topically and the things that it's capable of doing for the skin. So before we start talking more, let's go ahead and just cue up this video, and let's let Dr. Turner tell us herself. ghk-cu moved from being an anti-aging peptide, which with lots of valid research in cosmetic. What do you think, Dr. Turner? ghk-cu as a cosmetic peptide, is that the best thing about it, or is it just as good for hair regrowth and all the other stuff?
I think it's one of the better things about it. I think this is one of the unsung heroes of the peptide whole genre. I really think it really is one of the lesser known and lesser looked at. Every time I go back and look at this peptide, I go, why am I not taking this all the time? Either sub-Q or topical. And I do now take it topical on a regular basis, but it's got so many benefits. There's so many reasons to use it. And the research, particularly in the, heart disease and neurodegeneration, because of how it works, up and down regulating genes. And this is what we know that ghk-cu does. This is one of the reasons why it works specifically for skin, but also for all these other disease states, is because it works by up and down regulating genes. There was a big study done in 2010 where they actually discovered all these different genes that were involved. And there are something like 30% of our genes are affected by more than 50% when ghk-cu is applied. It was originally discovered in the 70s, where Dr. Picard was the one who applied it to a liver cell tissue sample and discovered that it was producing hormones and proteins and peptides as though it
isn't part of the problem with peptides today that people don't give them enough time to do their job?
I agree with you. And I think it depends on how long you've had whatever the problem is you're trying to treat. The research around this, around the copper peptides using for skin improvement, for elasticity and wrinkle reduction, show that its benefits take around 12 weeks. So these are the human studies that were done in the 2003-2005 time frame. And it was people looking at how much collagen production.
Is it the copper that's the magic? Because there's another GHK that's bound to another mineral, isn't there? There's GHK something, and then there's ghk-cu. Is the copper the magic here?
I don't think it's the only magic. I do think it's I think it's part of it, because it's involved in collagen production, because it's involved in changing those. I do recommend twice a day hydrolyzed collagen supplement and little teeny vitamin C, like a 50 milligram.
So there you have it. That's kind of the Reader's Digest version of the discussion we had. And I have to tell you, I know someone who has been using this product. I didn't email her to ask her if I could use her name, but she used to regularly get Botox in her forehead. And she said that she bought it when we first started promoting it on the show, and she said that she usually gets Botox every few months, but she's not now. She's going on her 4th month of not having it, and she doesn't notice the wrinkles in her forehead nearly as much as previously when it was time for her to get Botox. Is that part of what it does, Debbie?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It does. I agree. It takes 12 weeks to really start seeing changes. I had a scar, and one of the things that Dr. Turner said is the longer you've had something, the longer it may take to recover. I was hit by a golf club when I was 8 years old, and have had a scar over my eye for my entire life. I've even had some laser, and it's still there. And after pressing the serum into my forehead for 6 months, that's when I noticed the change. One day I was looking at a photo that popped up in my Apple, and the scar was gone. And I just was blown away. I mean, totally, it just, faded away. So that's the type of thing that it can do if you use it twice a day. Absolutely.
And we have some questions. We'll get to all these questions, I promise. But before we do that, we have 2 guests in the green room. I'm going to bring them on one at a time because they're going to tell us their personal circumstances with using this product. So let's just bring in Eric. Is his last name Overman? I hope I'm doing that right. Is it Eric Overman?
Yes.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
Fantastic. Tell me a little bit about yourself. First of all, before we talk about your experience, what do you do?
I'm a marketing consultant.
Okay. And how long have you been using the ghk-cu product from Restoracell?
Basically, I first bought it in mid-December and started using it right at the beginning of January, actually.
So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So you're in your 8th, going into your 8th month of use.
I sure am. And I had originally actually bought it for my wife as a gift, and she was using it for a couple of weeks and had seen a difference. And I started using it and then got the serum. And it's interesting to hear Dr. Turner say the 12 weeks. I could start seeing like the wrinkles on my forehead and around my mouth kind of lessening. And I had really gotten it. I had lost some weight and had a bunch of wrinkles in my chin as well. And I could see those, still have some of it, yeah. I could see those starting to go away. And it's funny because about 12 weeks in March, I was on a Zoom call, which I'm on a lot of course, like a lot of folks these days, as things switched over to remote. And someone said, wow, I don't know what you're doing, but you look 35 these days. So that was someone that had been on Zoom calls with me for the last 12 months. So I figured it must actually be working at that point. So
yeah, absolutely.
And I'm 51, so that's
how old? I was going to ask you. You're 51, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you use it? Do you use it twice a day? Do you use it once a day?
No, to be honest, I'm probably not your best case study there because, I'm not historically one that used consistently a lot of skin products, to be honest. And mainly I use the serum once a day pretty consistently, sometimes twice a day. Every now and then I'll use the other 2 products if I sneak them, off my wife's side of the vanity there. But pretty much I just use the serum about once a day. And maybe I would have seen quicker results or something, but I seem pretty content with that usage. My wife uses all 3 and loves them. But yes, I would say this is my first time I've used something consistently for that long. I had bought several things and used them for, a week or 2 here and there.
And so do you notice anything when you put it on? Skin tingling, anything at all?
No, it's very smooth and it disappears. Kind of feels like after you put it on a few minutes later, it's not something that is sticky or anything like a serum, might be or I've experienced in the past. But it's very cooling when it goes on. And I don't know, it feels very, I guess, hydrating perhaps, but it's nothing. And I know it's like all natural, and I've seen, obviously with the ingredients and stuff. So nothing, I have very sensitive skin, so I can't, not to veer down the course, but there's only like one deodorant I can use in the whole world.
Right.
So products just don't do well on my skin, and this one haven't had any problems.
Any of your buddies notice anything? The guys that you maybe bowl with or go golf with or anything like that?
So they have asked me a couple times if have you kept losing weight, or
Yeah, they can't put their finger on it. They can't.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. I haven't really volunteered anything.
Yeah.
No,
So you don't want them to know. Come on, help Debbie.
No, actually, well, we have another friend of ours that's ordered it, that lives here in town, and a couple other people that I know have tried a sample kit. So I think word is getting around. My wife's probably a better ambassador than I am. For some reason, people don't come to me for their skin care. I don't know.
No, huh? Do you? So would you tell somebody that did ask you, and you were willing to, like, they weren't in direct competition with you? Would you tell them about the product?
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, my mom actually uses it now. She saw after we used it for a couple months, she actually just ordered, I know, some like a month ago, after I gave her a moisturizer for Mother's Day. And she was another one that was very like, well, I just want to try it because I can't use it. I can hardly use any products. And she also has had real good luck with it. So yeah, no, I will tell anyone that asks.
Cares about their skin.
That's right.
Right. Yeah.
And I definitely put it, this summer, anytime I will say the exception to my unfortunately not regular schedule of usage is anytime if I play tennis or I'm out in the sun this summer, I do try to put it on when I come back in after reading a blog that Debbi had emailed out, I know, some time ago, just about the sun damage stuff. So I do use it a couple times a day if I'm out in the sun a lot.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
But you definitely would recommend it to somebody in the audience who's saying, I'd like to give it a try. Would you say to them, give it a try, you won't be disappointed?
Absolutely. I mean, I can only speak obviously for my wife and myself, but I mean, both of us have had good results with it, and I think there's nothing to lose if I'm not mistaken. There's a money back, satisfaction guarantee. So I mean,
All right, we're gonna say thank you right now and move you back to the green room. So thanks for being here, Eric. Okay.
Thank you.
So, Debbi and Terry, is there a money back guarantee or money back opportunity on the product if people are dissatisfied?
Absolutely. Fortunately, nobody's taken advantage of it. So we're blessed in that regard, but there definitely is. So people can purchase, and they can purchase with great confidence.
What about the sun damage, Debbi? I didn't even think about that. I mean, it's too late for me because I've turned into leather, but but is this good for women who are worried about sun damage and, those little brown spots and stuff like that?
Absolutely. In fact, I am a regular user of the serum, and I play tennis, and I put it on under a mineral-based sunscreen because in all my research, I understand it not only helps against the damage that you already have from all the years I did not do what I was supposed to do, but it will help protect against UV radiation. And it actually protects your skin barrier. So I read a study recently where a person had been using their, ghk-cu and forgot to, replenish their sunscreen everywhere else, and they did not get sunburn. Now you need to use sunscreen. You must use.
Yeah, you're not saying use this instead of.
No,
right.
but she saw that her face had been protected just by using the copper peptides. So I think it's something that everyone should use before they get out in the sun. And then when I come in from the sun, I also reapply just to, take care of any damage that I might have occurred.
Now we have Wendy Johnson standing by in the green room. I want to put these images up. I know Natalie put this up. You sent. So these are actual before and after pictures of real customers who have been using the Restoracell line. And I guess is that your scar on that and that one picture?
That is my scar. And
holy mackerel.
Yes, it's
gone.
That's
amazing. It's gone.
It's gone. And the only thing I did is press the serum into my forehead, as I do my whole face. And I was patient, and it's gone. And it had been there for 50 years.
So those of you listening to the show and watching the show, if you go to the URL shrnetwork.biz/blue, and you have to use that particular link, you will save 25% off your first order for Restoracell products. So check that out. Let's go ahead and get Wendy Johnson on with us here. Hold on a second. Hi, Wendy. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. So tell me about your experience. How long have you been using the Restoracell products?
Okay. I've been using it probably about 6 months. When I heard that question, I went, when did I start using this? But it's been at least 6 months. And at the time that I began using it, I just have to declare that I'm a seasoned woman. Okay, meaning I'm on the older side. Okay,
I'm going to use that. I'm very well seasoned. I'm
Yeah.
as seasoned as the cast iron skillet, actually.
And so I was showing my age, wrinkles, crow's feet, neck issues, and crepey skin on my arms, which all women hate. Okay.
Yes.
So that was my condition when I started using Restoracell products. And I had this idea in my mind that I was going to do it right. So all this about time and patience really rang a bell, because I made the decision to be patient. And, you know, everybody wants a Happy Meal from a drive-through window, and that's not what happens. So it was really, I was intent that I was going to take time, be consistent, and also use no other products with it, so that I knew that as I got some results, it wasn't from something else or the combination of two. And then also the other things, sunscreen and drinking water and so on, lifting weights. But anyway, so that's sort of, that was my experience. So I was just so pleasantly surprised. You can't know how many products I've used in my
I know.
seasoned
I
life.
have a wife. I know. And let me just say, none of that stuff is cheap. I mean,
No.
I've seen Elisa come home with serums where a little bottle was like $300.
Yeah.
I remember some of the names, Revive, and all these different very expensive products. And women buy these products because they believe that it's going to help them have better skin. That's the bottom line. And a lot of times they're let down. I know Elisa was let down by lots of different products.
Yeah, I mean, it's so true. I mean, I have a whole closet full of things that failed me. They just weren't doing anything but making my face greasy. And so anyway, yeah.
So what do you know? So what have you noticed now? You've been using it for 6 months. Tell me what you notice.
I noticed that my crow's feet, that those wrinkles that come from the expression, I'm Italian, I've got a lot of that going on, and they really are almost gone. I mean, they're just almost gone. I had these surface wrinkles and patchy kind of dry skin, and my skin is so smooth. And I am getting people to ask me, what are you doing with your skin? Because there's no surface wrinkles. There aren't.
Right.
Now, there's always going to be some expression lines, and of
Yeah.
course, you do want some of those. You want to be human.
Right.
But the patchy stuff, the little dry areas, they're gone. And the skin on my neck and my upper arms is less crepey. And if you talk to a woman who's over 60 or 70,
They
she'll be
hate
telling
crepey
you,
skin.
they're wearing long sleeve shirts in 95-degree weather. And I'm really noticing a difference there. And I'm doing it twice a day. And I think that that's going to be a real breakthrough for me.
When do you do it, Wendy? In the morning and before bed? When do you do it?
I do it. I wash my face at night, clean everything off, and then I apply the moisturizing cream. Well, first the serum and then the moisturizing cream on my face, my neck, and then when I wake up in the morning after my shower, I do the whole thing again. So I do it twice a day.
Cool.
And so
And
it's working while I'm.
So it sounds like you will keep using it because it's working, right?
Right, exactly.
And you would
Absolutely.
recommend to people listening to the show that they try it.
Absolutely, I would. And I've tried everything there is on the market, from $50 to $500. And this is just absolutely the first time that I could actually see results from
And
a product.
and there's no what's the word I'm looking for? What's the things that they parabens? There's no parabens in
Parabens,
the
no.
product. No, this
Yeah,
is not a
yeah.
product that you're going to find. So let's see. Audrey Robbins says, how much is it? So there's several products. What are the basic package prices without the 25 or 20% discount that they get? I think it's 25% with Superhuman Radio.
So typically the serum will always sell retail for $99.
That's not
The
bad.
No,
the other two, which is the moisturizer and the eye cream, everything is packed with the ghk-cu with it, with lots of other great minerals and oils, and that also sells for $89 a piece. So if you put all three together, you're looking at usually a $270 valued package. But we constantly and consistently sell it on the website for $199. And that's before the 25% discount that you
That's outstanding. That's outstanding. Again, let me put this up here again. Hold on a second. So I want to leave Audrey's comment there, and I want to put this back up. shrnetwork.biz/blue will get you 25% off, Audrey. So that's the way to go at this. That's a fantastic deal. I know. Elisa was just complaining that the makeup remover she uses around her eyes, a single bottle was like $40. I said, can't you just use like coconut oil? Like, no, this is, it's hypoallergenic. It's gentle. I mean, I feel sorry for women because these companies are not charging for their product. They're charging for the promise that you're going to look beautiful. There's a big difference. When I was a very young man, I sold Electrolux. And I remember the guy telling me, remember Electrolux? They sold you a vacuum cleaner that they said would last a lifetime, but next year they wanted to sell you the new model. So the guy says to me, I said, his name was Ford Miles. I'll never forget it. I says, Ford, how can I charge somebody $1,500 for a vacuum cleaner? They can go to Target and get for $65. He goes, Carl, you're not selling a vacuum cleaner. You're selling a clean home. I was like, okay. And that's how people market today. That really is. And it's kind of sad. But those prices are ridiculously inexpensive. I'm aware of what cosmetic products cost.
Yeah, it's great.
That's great. And look, a lot of these products claim to have peptides today, but they don't have ghk-cu. 99% of the time, they have some interesting peptide proteins in there. But ghk-cu has been shown in science to help regrow hair. Katrina Miller points out this is true. Injecting ghk-cu into your scalp, there's a French scientist that showed that it made gray hair disappear and put the pigment back in the hair color. So ghk-cu is really magic. And to have it in a product that you put on your skin can only be good. Listen, I want to thank you so much for being here, Wendy.
Well, thank you. I've enjoyed it myself.
Wendy, you're a great example. I love that you use it twice a day. You're a great example.
Yeah, twice.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. My
And
pleasure.
you know what, Wendy, as one Italian to another, talk more with your hands and less with your eyes. You won't get the crow's feet. That's good.
Thank you. Good advice.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So this is really fascinating stuff. Let's get some of these questions up here. Let's see what we have here. I'm looking here. That's still vaccine stuff. Injectable or topical. This is topical, Katrina. So one of the things that's not understood is this illusion. Thank you, Natalie. This illusion that topically applied things only stay on the skin. And that's not true. They are delivered systemically, but regionally. It depends on the concentration of the active ingredient in the vehicle. So most of these products generally have between 1 and 3%, 1 and 5% of a peptide in them when they're designed to be delivered topically, but you're still getting it in other tissue, in your neck, in your face, and so on. But this is not injectable. Injectable is delivered to the entire body. And whether or not it's going to make it to the face depends on how much of it is taken up by other tissue. You want this to work on your skin, on your face, so you want it to be put there as well. And Bob Burke says this the same thing. Either sub-Q. No, this is topical. Let's see what other questions we have. I bought Restoracell and use it. Hadn't done the injections yet. You don't need the injections. If all you wanted is on your skin, just do that. Let's see here. Systemic. They're all the same question. Systemic or local? Yes, this is local, but some of it gets delivered regionally. Let's just put it that way. So, any interesting stories from any of your customers thus far? The product has been out for how long now? Since December of last year?
Since October. Last October.
Last year.
Okay. So what are the feedback you're getting now from your customers? I have to believe your reorder rate is very high because the product is extremely reasonably priced and it works.
It is. And the stories that we hear are really pretty fascinating, and they're pretty diverse too. I know for a fact that there's a guy who really struggled with having keratosis pillars that would grow in his head, and it swears by the fact that the Restoracell has put an end to that. I think that's fascinating. Got another story from a customer who was really struggling with that rosacea, and it really made an impact on that. And then I just love the fact that it's really covers a whole wide range in terms of demographics. We've got everybody from 35-year-olds to 75, 80. My mother-in-law, 91 years old, and she's actively using it and is a believer. She's had really good effects by it. She's kind of funny. When she started, we said, Mima, would you be willing to write a review? She said, what am I going to say? Do it like me and you'll get to look 86.
Yeah.
She's 91.
Right. Yeah, right.
She's 91.
My God, you look 10 years younger. That's not that much, right? Not when you're in your 90s. You want to look 30 years younger. The product is called Restoracell, and it is made with an amazing peptide called ghk-cu. The original show that we did with Dr. Turner, if you want to hear all of the science behind it, is 2704. It's in our catalog. And of course, we have talked about ghk-cu in other shows, in the Pep Talk for Women. It's not something new. And I'll be honest with you, there are other companies out there who make a product that is so much more expensive than the Restoracell product. You can go to a compounding pharmacist and get less for a lot more money. Yes. If you're inclined to. So it's really this is a really, really good deal. So let me put the deal back up for people to see. If you go to the URL, you do have to use a code. I take it back. So if you go to shrnetwork.biz/blue and use the code SHR25, SHR25, you'll save 25% off site-wide on anything on the website in your first order. And if you're a guy, it's the same thing. shrnetwork.biz/blue, SHR25 is the code to use. I want to thank you both for being here. I want to thank you both for being sponsors of the show. shrnetwork.biz/blue and use the code SHR25 to save 25% off. Give it a try. And I want to hear from you. If you use it, I want to hear from you, because I'll have you on the next show we do with Debbie and Terry. So that's it. Thanks so much for being here, guys.
Thank you, Carl.
See you soon.